Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Aleasha Bahr, and this is Introverted Entrepreneur Success Stories. I'm a sales coach for introverts, and I craft custom sales processes with you that allow you to sign up over 50% of the people you talk to without paying, pitching, or pretending to be someone else. The idea for this show came from people like you who have the desire to be an entrepreneur, but might let being an introvert hold you back or make you think that you're not cut out for it. So we decided it could be helpful to interview introverted entrepreneurs about their journey, success, and how they feel about sales. Because we found that sales is an unavoidable part of entrepreneurship and often the reason introverts shy away from it. Joining us on the show today is Bisi MacGregor. Bisi is an expert in mastering and transcending internal fears. What a good topic for introverts. An award-winning international speaker, TEDx speaker, and results-focused facilitator. With a corporate finance career of over 2 decades, she overcame the challenges, demands, and politics of corporate. We all know about that, and answered the calling of her soul. She's the founder of Fear to Freedom, whose focus audience is executives, high-level professionals, business owners, and companies. She delivers coaching, training, and speaking services using her proprietary Live More, Fear Less methodology to disrupt the status quo of your mindset so you can discover your own unique, fearless formula for success. She's based in Georgia and works with clients internationally. Welcome, Bisi.
Thank you, Aleasha. Thank you. So excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be such a good conversation. So there's so many questions that I want to start with, but usually I'll start with before starting a business. I mean, you had to deal with corporate.
Yes.
Especially the politics, especially for an introvert. I mean, we're not as good naturally at playing that game because we just want to like keep it real and be authentic. Like, I'm just here to get a result. I don't know what y'all are doing or what your, focus is, but it's clearly not getting the job done or whatever. I mean, that's why I left corporate and became an entrepreneur. And I think that's how a lot of people were. Like, I always say that an entrepreneur was probably labeled a difficult yet high performing employee. Was that you, Bisi?
Yeah. Yes.
You were like, I will not stand for this. Like, this isn't making sense. Yeah. And they were like, Bisi, stop trying to make it better. Okay. Just keep your head down and do your job and we'll all make money.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what made you think about being an entrepreneur? And did you think being introverted would be an asset or not beforehand?
Ooh, I love that. I'm not even sure I thought about me being an introvert, how that would affect me being an entrepreneur or not. Like if it even played a role in my decision, honestly. I think, and maybe it did subconsciously and I just didn't know it, but I know spending 22 years in corporate, it's cut out for you. Everything's easy. You know what to do. You know what you're coming in to do every day.
Yeah.
And then being an entrepreneur, it's like you're all of the departments. And that kind of is like, wait, what's going on? Do I know how to do this? So I was really stuck in a lot of, do I know how to do this? And then when I did think about you're going to have conversations with many people. You're going to have to like pitch things. You're going to have to sell. You're going to have to, and it was like, oh my God, how much of this can I actually do? Because when I think about it, I don't know if I could get through more than 1 or 2 conversations a day. I mean, am I going to be able to make a living?
Because it's draining.
Absolutely. Just talking to, and it's what's interesting, Aleasha, and I think I may have mentioned this pre us talking here, is a lot of people don't believe I'm an introvert because I can turn it on. I can talk.
Yes, to people.
I can. Yeah, exactly. I can talk. And no, you're not an introvert. I am.
Yeah. You're
I am
draining me right now, but it's
right now.
yeah, but it's worth it if it's a good conversation. But I'm not trying to just do this with anybody, like
Correct.
kind of thing.
And not
Yeah.
all day long. We don't need to have a 3-hour conversation.
No,
Let's
maybe
have it
like some
pointed.
silence and watching in between, like
In between.
observing what.
Or let's just hit it and then let me go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can be alone.
Let me go. Let me go recharge. Let me go be alone. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. So that's usually where it shows up is like, you're not like, oh, I'm an introvert. How will I do this? You're like, oh, I have to do marketing and sales to have a business. How am I going to do it? And the fear is usually coming from the fact that that's not your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, what do you think now? Do you think that being introverted, maybe marketing and sales not being your thing, is an asset now?
As a matter of fact, I do, because I over the course of 4.5 years of being an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur, I've gotten to know myself even deeper. And I've gotten to take care of myself more than I ever would when I was in corporate. So now I know my needs as an introvert, and I'm not skirting around that. I'm not playing with that. That's like, it's a non-negotiable. How I take care of myself is non-negotiable now. So now it becomes an asset, because in that space, in that void, when I'm recharging, when I'm just unplugging from people, there's so much that happens in that space. So much. I mean, so much where I become clearer. I have more downloads, so to speak. I have more solutions, some more ideas, ways to coach my clients, just different things, but which would not have happened if I did not honor that part of myself.
Absolutely. So a lot of people, I think, are scared of entrepreneurship because they think it's going to be this like hustle and grind. Like you just got to keep going. Like you're tired, doesn't matter. You have to keep going. And that sounds miserable, which it is. Heads up, everybody. Yes. But also, like what BC is saying is that it actually, in a lot of instances, will make you worse and less quality at business if you just grind through instead of like taking that quality time. It makes you so much better at your job. It makes you so much more money. It gets your clients so much better results. And so that like shift in thinking and being in tune with yourself and accepting like, I don't need to be working all the time. It sounds like that was really magical for you and a shift from how you used to think before.
Oh my God. Yes. So I'll tell you a story. When I first went into full-time entrepreneurship, I would sit at my computer like for 12 hours, 14 hours. It was no different from me at the office in New York City, sitting in front of just spreadsheets and doing all kinds of financial models. And I did that in entrepreneurship. I couldn't figure out why I was tired, why I was not making the sales, none of that. And eventually I hired a business coach and whatnot. And I started to do my own work, my own inner work. And it really made some decisions, because this isn't something that I did not know as a mindset coach. I knew this stuff, but I wasn't doing what I would preach or what I would teach. And then I finally started taking my own medicine, basically. And now in the morning, I do not start my work days until about 11 o'clock. And that is because I have to have a whole morning routine that has happened. Sometimes that morning routine happens by the lake. It's just me and this body of water.
Sounds amazing.
I meditate there. Yes. And journal and all. I have to have that time. Have to.
And you like, just to give some tangible results, like tripled, quadrupled your income once you started doing that, or?
So I started my first year in business. I closed the year 2019 at $19,000.
Dang.
And I was so ashamed. I was
tired.
So ashamed.
You're probably tired, right?
And tired.
Yeah.
And tired. Okay. Yeah, I was so ashamed and tired and really scared, thinking I'm going to have to polish my resume and go back out there. I mean, I'm coming from, I was an AVP of finance. I was making well over six figures, the bonus, all of it. And here I am, $19,000. When I switched gears and started honoring the introvert in me and implementing some of these things, I took my business in 2020. You all remember that year, 2020, $208,000. $208,000.
10x. That was a 10x.
It's way more than 10x, from $19,000 to multiple six figures the next year by honoring me.
I hope this is like a message for everybody listening to know that not only do you not have to do it a certain way, but you will be so much more successful not doing it whatever way you're envisioning.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
just do it from the beginning if you can. I think that people are scared. They're like, I know you say that, but it's
and I get it. I get that fear, right? Because in my world, I deal with fear all day long. And there's a statistic out there that says more than 75% of our decisions are rooted in fear. We're saying yes to a thing we want to say no to, and no to a thing we want to say yes to. And then we find ourselves in the thing and we're like, why did I do this? All right, you know what? Tomorrow I'm not doing this again. And then before the day is over, you've done the same thing all over again. So we're constantly listening to the gurus that are out there, the people that are saying this is the way, and your heart is telling you, I'd like to do it this way. Let's do it this way. But because you don't want to be the quote unquote odd one out, you don't want to stick out because your fear says being yourself is way too risky. Don't do it. Don't do it. You find yourself saying yes to the way that isn't your way. And then we're exhausted and we're not making the money we want to make and not making the impact we want to make.
Yeah. And it also is that thing we were talking about before where it's like, well, who am I? Who am I to say that's not the way? I don't have experience in this way. This person has these, numbers and stories and stuff. So I can't, but what do you tell people that say that to themselves?
So here, one of the principles I live by is owning yourself, having full agency of who you be. I don't think there's anything wrong in having teachers. I have coaches, I have mentors, because yes, they've been where I'm trying to go. Now, their path may not necessarily be my path. Yes. I always have to come back to my own agency to check in before I give the final answer, because we each have our own GPS. I mean, a lot of people are busy following somebody else's GPS and it's taking you to their destination, and your destination is south. They're going all the way northwest. Where are you going?
It's so freaking true. And this is something I preach about a lot, like the one size fits all. Like so much of what people are doing are like, this is what worked for me, and this is what works for so-and-so and this person, so it should work for you. And you're like, why isn't it working for me? Something's wrong with me. And actually it's just that you have to listen, because just because you paid a lot of money for something doesn't mean you should do all of it if it doesn't feel right. And I think people have a lot of like misalignment. What's the word with that? Like, I paid for it, I got to do it. And it's like, no, just take the nuggets that resonate.
Yes. Because, and I think it's a lack of trust in ourselves, right? It's oh my God, they have the numbers, so therefore let me do exactly what they've done. Well, check in with yourself and see if that is what you want to do. No, there's no need, because I no longer trust what comes out of me. So there's a restoration in self-trust that has to happen. There is a peeling of these fears, these layers that have to happen so that you can step into full agency of who you are, which is why I talk about having your own unique success formula, your own unique fearless formula, because we are each different. Someone may give you a simple example. Somebody may call herself, I'm a procrastinator. And the other person says, I'm a perfectionist. As far as I'm concerned, they're all under this umbrella called fear.
That's true. It's the same thing. Yeah.
They're all under this umbrella called fear. But the person who calls herself the procrastinator needs the medicine for procrastination.
Yeah.
Not perfectionism. it's not going to resonate. And that's what happens when we're following somebody else's path and not coming back to ourselves to say, what resonates for me? What resonates for me? You know, the results they want, the procrastinator and perfectionist, it's the same thing. They all want to make the sales. They all want to have a successful business.
Yeah.
They want to have the impact. But the results, the process that they're going through is quite different.
Yeah. I think that that's such a wonderful example. And I mean, also, it's so important for people to realize that maybe like your first instinct, it's not the right one. And that's okay. You can just evolve and iterate. The first idea you went out in the market with, BC, was it the one that you're doing now? Or yeah.
That would be a no.
Yeah.
No, that would be a no. So yes, to your point, give yourself grace. Just give yourself compassion. I usually teach on compassion, and I'm talking compassion first for yourself. We know how to dole it out to everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm talking about seeing the innocence in yourself. Hey, I'm doing the best I can with the tools that I have right now. And it is okay. It is okay. When and if I know better, I'll do differently. But right now, I'm doing what I can with what I have.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of these introverts before they're going in being like, okay, I'm going to try to listen into myself, and I'm trying to, like, you know, align myself with my heart, my soul, my intuition. And you might need to just do the thing to know that it's not right before you can make the right decision. So just, you know, would you say, like, to prepare yourself like that? Would you say that you need to take action to even know what your intuition is saying? Like, you can't know beforehand?
I love it. Because I do hear a lot of, I just need to be confident, and then I can do the thing and, you know, put it out there, put my idea out there. I'm trying to build my confidence. And it's the other way around. You take the step, you take the action, and confidence builds. Take action and confidence builds. Because your intuition, and I wouldn't even say if it's right or wrong, it's information, and it's also teaching you a different way. If it doesn't, I think we're so tied to certain results, which is where we get ourselves in a tizzy. When you have the intuition and you take action on it, and it does not hit exactly as you wanted, they beat themselves up and they say, oh, like, then they no longer trust their intuition. But it just needed you to just take that step so that the next one would be revealed. That's all.
Like layers, right?
Yes.
You said something
Yes.
about layers. You're just peeling them back, peeling them back. Yeah.
Just peeling back. I remember at one point I was stuck at the beginning of my journey with, I needed to know all the steps. I just need to know how to get there before I move. I mean, there's no point in me just these little baby steps. There's no point. How, and I got stuck on the how. And one of my mentors said something to me that was so profound and just hit me in the center of my heart. And she says, just make a decision on the what, because the how is already present. It's already present. Just make a decision on what you want. You want X amount of sales this month, or you want to sell XYZ. Just be solid and centered in that decision. And then the next step will be revealed. My job is to just follow that next step. That's it. And then the next step will be revealed. And the next step will be revealed. And that's it.
Well, that's probably a huge mindset shift for everybody hearing about this. I mean, you want to have expectations that, like, you're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to wear all the hats or whatever of a business and stuff. But like the next step to growing it, I think that's so much less pressure actually to not know all of them ahead of time, to just be able to say, like, okay, it's telling me that I should do this. Now here's the next thing I should do. And, you know, really letting yourself flow in it. It sounds like in your experience that has gotten such a better result than knowing all.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something about knowing all. And I talked about this in my TEDx talk, Building Confidence in the Face of Fear. I shared a tool that I learned from Rhonda Britton, and it's called Stretch, Risk, or Die. So if it's basically if you draw 3 concentric circles, just a big, bigger, biggest, one inside one another. And that middle part is your comfort zone. It's life as it is right now. It's what we're familiar with. That's just what we do. Is we think about it, we overthink it, all of it.
Yeah.
And then the stretch zone are the things that you know you can't do. You just don't do them. You know how to do them. You know how to take that baby step. You know what it is, but you just don't do them. And then you have the next layer, which is the risk zone, which kind of is, oh my God, whew, I don't know. I'm not even sure if this is going to work, but it scares me. That's that area. And then all of the blank space outside of the biggest circle is what we call the die zone. And that's the part that feels so, I don't know if I can ever do this. I'm out of here, cancel it. I never want to be an entrepreneur. And what happens is we usually take one goal and we do not assess the levels of fear to it. We don't break it down into smaller chunks. And what you want to do is break it down into those chunks. And your job is to take on the stretch. That's it. Forget about the big die zone. That's probably in 15 years or 10 years. Just take the step. You know, those little things you know how to do and you just don't do them. Those things. But here's what happens though. Because you're venturing out of that comfort zone, your fear is going to rear its head because that is the only time it shows up. Because you're moving out of your comfort zone. You're pressing the edge of your comfort zone. And it's going to say, Aleasha, where are you going?
Yeah, it's not safe there. It's not safe. Yeah.
People are going to see you. People are going to hear you. There's going to be a lot of people there. You're going to be drained. Don't do it. And then you make an excuse. All of a sudden, you think it's time to clean the bedroom. It's time to rearrange the garage. You know, the distractions come in and you call yourself a procrastinator or whatever. So our job is just to now recognize our voice of fear and say, okay, I see you. I know you're trying to keep me safe, but I got this one step and move. Just a one baby step. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't need to know the whole plan, the whole thing.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I've heard some kind of line that it's like, as long as you're moving forward, because so many people are just standing still.
Yes.
And it can kind of feel like, oh, if I don't make a decision, I'm saving myself, but not making a decision is still having consequences and results. So you're like not avoiding, there's no way to avoid making a decision. But one of them,
your indecision is a decision.
It is. It's a total decision.
Yeah.
People live in that decision for years and look back and are like, damn, why didn't I do anything?
Yeah. It's called
you thought you were avoiding.
Yeah.
What?
It's called the comfort zone. Many people are trapped in there.
They are, because it feels safer. So, I mean, you said so many things that do. So it sounds like sales and marketing were the one that you were kind of like most worried about before starting a business.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So how do you feel about them now?
Definitely more confident about them than I did at the very beginning. I think now there's a different way I look at sales. For me, it's a service. It's a service to the people that I'm called to work with. And so the question is, Bisi, are you willing to serve people? You know, are you willing to serve people? Because that's one road I'm going to have to take to sell to them, to market, you know? So I'm definitely more comfortable and more confident than I was. I also know how to manage my energy better, you know, which is huge, including the people that come on the calls with me before they get on the calls with me. I'm not getting on a call with any and everybody.
Yeah, you know? That's a huge shift for a lot of people to make. And
marketing. I'm not marketing 24/7. It's not happening. You know, I do a post or I do an invitation and maybe that's it. And I go play. Just go play, go relax, go do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think they feel the pressure of needing to show up on every single platform.
God, yes. That was me. Guilty.
Yeah. I'm still going through it. So did you focus on one?
So I did. It's funny you say, it's funny. I was thinking about this just recently, like last week, because now I mainly play on Facebook. And then LinkedIn, and then a little bit on IG. And
Yeah.
just recently I was thinking we need to just one. I just want one, because I
Yeah.
was doing it all. And I remember with Twitter, and I'm like, I don't even tweet. I mean,
Oh my God, Twitter, get out of here, Twitter.
I'm like, I don't even do this. What am I doing? And to your point of what we're saying earlier on, I did it that way because that's what I was learning. Oh my God, I have to be here, 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 and here. And the way the content needs to be massaged this way, and needs to be showed this way and scheduled this way. And I'm like, what is going on? I can't do this. So I'm probably definitely going to go to one or just two. Yeah.
Yeah. IG has been like, for whatever reason, like not hot on IG. Like, I don't know. I was like, I haven't found a way to find people that I really enjoy, like their content. And I think that's a big part of it. Like if you have content in your feed or whatever that you like engaging with, you're like, oh, I'm enjoying this.
Yes.
Which is probably just me curating my feed. But anyway, just so that you guys know, like you don't have to be everywhere. And also like your voice, we kind of talked about this a little bit beforehand, and your voice in marketing will also stem to your voice in sales conversations. And before somebody gets started, I think there's a lot of fear around like, what is going to make me different? Like it's hard to know what's going to make me different ahead of time. And then it usually changes too. Just like your offer or whatever you originally went to market with. And so do you have any advice on how to tune into your voice a little faster?
Yeah. So, and I love this because for me, it always goes back to the self-ownership, owning who you are. And that for me means being present with who you are and who you are becoming, and allowing yourself that grace for evolution. Because you said it just now, like it changes. It changes. When I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was in corporate mode, talking like I'm speaking inside the conference rooms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was just really, really corporate. And what is going on? What is going on? And it's because for years, that's the facade I wore. And I had to peel back the layers to access Bissi's voice. Who is Bisi? So for me, I feel like there's a lot of self-discovery work that one might need to do. And it really is a gift to give yourself, because our fear is on patrol 24/7. And the biggest thing it tells us is it is way too risky for you to be out there by yourself. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you look is too risky. You better not do it. You better dress like somebody else. You better speak like somebody else. And that's what we see happening. Let me do it the way Aleasha's doing it. Let me do it the way Teresa's doing it. And then you wonder why you're not hidden, why you're not unique. Nobody can recognize you. Your people do not recognize you. You have on a cloak. No one recognizes you.
I can't even tell you how long it took me to be okay with swearing in my content. And I swear a lot in real life. And, I had people be like, I would never work with someone who swore in their content. And that scared the shit out of me. And, the truth is, like, I don't want to work with someone who's
anyway.
Yeah. And I remember one of my first coaches was like, you really need to dress more professional.
Yeah.
I'm wearing like a t-shirt, or today I have, a sundress with spaghetti straps on and my hair in a braid. Oh my God. I'm so casual. I'm so informal right now. And I realized that like, I don't want to work with someone who's like, she wasn't wearing a blazer or whatever.
Exactly.
But at first you're so scared to just be, and then you're right. It is such a gift. It's such a gift to be able to be yourself and have people say, hell yeah.
Yes. Because the more we do, the more somebody else is, wait a minute, you mean I could wear my spaghetti dress because I could take this blazer off? Because I didn't want this blazer in the first place. Yank this sucker off, You give other people permission to be themselves. That's literally what happens. But out here, there's so much posturing and so much to be accepted, which I get, because it's core to our DNA to want to belong, to want to be accepted and be understood and loved, all of that stuff. So we try to do these things, and sometimes it's not conscious. We just find ourselves with whatever. Yeah.
And just like listen to that inner voice. Like it just makes such a difference. And yes, coming from a place of service definitely helps introverts in sales and marketing too. That permission to be who you are in your marketing, it gives permission to other people, which is like so usually for introverts, if they feel like they're doing it for the benefit of someone else, they feel better about it or more confident about it, rather than just like doing it for themselves. So that shift that you're talking about, where it's like this sales conversation is for the other person, is definitely helpful, especially because you're going to deliver a kick-ass service.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, someone else is who doesn't is going to take that person's money.
Yep.
So they're going to spend it somewhere. And so it's in a way like saving them from, spending it in a bad way, because the truth is, I mean, most people are mediocre at their jobs. So if you're good at your job and you care about your client, like communicate that to the other person in your marketing and sales. Like, this is I care about you. Like, make your sales and marketing about the other person. It sounds like, was that a shift that you made that helped you a lot?
For sure. And one of the things that's coming up as you speak is we're not, and I'm sure I'll speak for myself. I'm not talking about, or I'm not agreeing with Aleasha to curate your marketing so that it sounds like it's for them. I'm talking about a genuine care for people.
Right. There's a difference. Yes.
There's genuine, and people can feel that energy. People can feel, yes, you are writing, it's a written post, but people can feel that energy. I did have to shift from having to sell. I'm just trying to sell something. And it's like, just relax yourself. I have something that I know is incredible. People come into my containers and they do not leave the same. That is a promise. That is a guarantee. What's the problem? Just put that out there. Be you, play, share your life, whatever it is. And the people that resonate with me come into my world. They're happy, I'm happy. But for starters, I'm doing it for me, but in service to them. Something that's good for me is good for them as well.
Well, because it brings you joy to positively impact other people's lives.
Yes.
Okay, so the last question I always like to ask is, what do you recommend to other introverts considering being entrepreneurs?
We've talked about this. First off, I would recommend a self-discovery of some sort. Get to know you on a deeper level. Be willing to be compassionate with yourself. See the innocence in you, the same way you would your friends. Be honest with yourself, like telling the truth with yourself first, and then you can tell the truth to other people. And accountability, accountable to who you be and to your dreams, which is honoring your energy, what you require, what your soul, your spirit requires, honoring that, being accountable to that person. I would say those things for sure.
That's awesome, Bisi. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing like your journey with us and, the lessons you've learned and the lessons that you share with your clients. If anybody wants to find you, how can they?
Well, I play on Facebook under Bisi MacGregor, and you can find me on LinkedIn as well, Bisi MacGregor as well, and IG. So I'm all over social media, and connect with me. I'd love to connect with you all.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you everyone for listening. I hope you feel empowered, that you have something wonderfully unique and you don't have to do it any other way besides your own unique way. And you will be so happy and also bringing so much to other people by doing that. So I'll see you next time.